Welcome to a brand new edition of the Viral Virtue Show. This is a show that promotes a culture of good character, morals, and values. You know, it's always a delight to have you on board. Well, in the studio today I have, as usual, and as always, I have Chima and Uju.
Hello.
Glad to be here.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
How are you doing, Biodun?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. Just waiting for this
How are the
conversation.
girls in your life?
They are fine. They are spending our money.
That's good. We now have two sons too.
Yeah.
What are you
And
trying
a
to
daughter.
say? They are
What's that?
booking your children. You're not hearing me.
Am I not a responsible
No,
man
and he's
with a responsible wife?
yeah, so
And
we don't mind. We can
properly
do the
groomed.
arrangements now.
No, don't try it.
But see, I thought that was the invitation.
Now we're just trying to let you know that
Don't worry,
we
noted.
can discuss
Duly noted.
business.
No problem.
And ask your husband to call me.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so today we'll be talking about setting healthy boundaries for our homes. And before we do this, I would like us to watch a video on healthy boundaries.
Okay.
You know, when we talk about setting healthy boundaries, again, and I know it sounds as if I keep going back to the same thing, but setting healthy boundaries is not about you keeping other people out. If someone crosses your line in the sand, it's because you never made your line deep enough. No one can ever go further with you than you've given them permission to go. So as hard and as difficult as it is to hear, because this was hard for me to hear when I had to admit it to myself, that the way people treated me was based on how I trained them to treat me. So I have to say it to you. You've trained people to treat you the way they're treating you. So if people are crossing your boundaries because they didn't know it was there. If people call you at odd hours of night, it's because you keep answering. If people ask you to do beyond what you're able to do, it's because you keep saying yes. If people don't ever think you need rest, it's because you act like you don't need rest. I know this is not probably what you want to hear, but I signed up and you signed up in this relationship to give you what you need to hear, not necessarily what's always easy to hear. And I'm only telling you what I needed to hear myself. I'm only telling you the lesson that I had to learn, that we train people how to treat us. In 2007, when I was on the Oprah show, it was the thing that came up and out of me. And she was like, yes, it was that thing that said, we train people how to treat us. Like they're looking at what we're saying yes to and what we're co-signing on. And if we're the yes woman or the yes man all the time, then one, our yes isn't as valuable because everyone automatically expects it because we give it away all the time. And two, they're gonna keep asking because they know they're gonna get yes. And if you're a producer and deliverer, you're the one I'm gonna come to all the time because you're a producer and deliverer. You're gonna get the job done, even to the detriment of your own joy. Even to the detriment of your own happiness. But again, you've trained people how to treat you. But the good news about training someone is that they can be retrained. Now, to set healthy boundaries, you can't just make an announcement. I've been looking at the Lisa Nichols show, and I know you won't say it like that, but things have got to change. No, don't announce it like that. Don't announce it with that, what I call that stank energy on it. Don't announce it with that negative, I'm done, you've been using me. No. Again, they simply have signed up for the game that you created, the relationship that you created, which was, I'm going to give, you can receive, you don't ever have to worry about crossing a boundary with me. So the first thing you need to do is to set the record straight by apologizing to the people that you've allowed to cross your boundaries. You have to say, I apologize. Just say it just like this. Just quote me. Just like this. You don't have to say, you quote me. It's your own words. You can modify it as need be. But you know what? I owe you an apology. I owe you an apology because I've made you think that I have no boundaries.
Okay, so I'm going to be pausing here. So while we were watching, I could see that you were really nodding and you were deep in thought. So can you share with us, what were you thinking about?
Okay, one of the things that stand out for me is that she mentioned train and then the possibility to retrain. And then if I would add additional thought, it would be not making the assumption that people know. That's one thing that is prevalent amongst all of us. People don't know. People don't know when not to call. They don't know when to stop. People don't know when to be empathic. For example, we talk about the school fees, the school fee season, all right? So whatever category of life that you are in, you are paying some level of school fees, especially within our age bracket, all right? So whether your own school fees is 2.5 or it's 4 million, whatever it is, somebody's paying school fees right now. Now, calling someone now and then imposing your own responsibility on someone may be just too much. You should be able to meet up somewhere, and then we think people will know. So she says something, if you keep saying yes, people will keep asking. And because you are a producer and someone who delivers, you'll be the one who always... No, I'm not saying now be all of a sudden mean and stingy and all of those. I'm just saying... create the boundaries in such a way that you are also alive to do your own stuff.
You know what struck out for me was the fact that whether you consciously train or you don't consciously train, you train anyway.
Anyways,
so
yes.
we need to be deliberate about all of that. So let's not go too deep into our conversation. Is that Remabi? So let's not go too deep into our conversation. We'll take a break and then we'll come back. Our guest will join us.
Can't wait to have him.
Welcome back. So this is Viral Virtue, the show that promotes a culture of good character, morals, and values. So before the break, we're talking about setting healthy boundaries. And we have our guests on board. Mr. Victor, welcome on board.
Thank you.
Thank you for stopping by. And I must confess, I like your gray hair. That's been, my eyes have been going through.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Boundaries, oh.
It's your gray hair that I said I like, nothing more.
I like it.
Please,
boundaries.
ask the question so that we can get to it.
No, I really like you,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about yourself. You look quiet, but I don't want to believe that you're quiet.
What did you do to her today?
Is the boundary construction site?
So tell me a little bit about yourself. What have you been up to? And
Okay, I am a pastor, worship leader, and a relationship and marriage expert.
No wonder.
Yeah. Well, that's basically it.
Are you married?
Oh,
Do you have
yes.
children?
Yes, I'm married.
Oh,
The kids are on the way.
nice. Tell us about your wife, a little bit about your wife.
Oh, my wife, she's a marriage counselor. What does she do again? My wife does a lot of things, but basically she's a counselor.
So you guys have wealth of wisdom in your home.
Well, you
Counselor.
can say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the smile when he said you can.
And,
Yeah.
you know,
I think there was the boundary. He was trying not to cross the boundary into pride.
I like the say, you can say that.
Yes.
It's something that we do. So.
Also, it's really nice. The same profession.
Okay,
He's a pastor, he's a
so
pastor,
what does it mean to create healthy balance? Not
Boundaries.
boundaries. Sorry. What does it mean to create healthy boundaries?
I feel is basically being in control of your space. A lot of people are not, well, you can't actually tell people, don't do this, don't do that. You meet new people every day, and you can't just say, this is what it should be, because a lot of people will not know that's what's supposed to be. But when things unexpected happens, you have to be in control of your space. You have to be able to tell people, okay, this is what I allow and this is what I don't allow. This is what works for me and this doesn't work for me. So I feel having healthy boundaries is also telling yourself that you need to create the boundaries, one, and letting people know that these boundaries have been set, basically.
Sorry, I have another question, and I'm
Yeah.
very passionate about this one. And is on after birth, when people see you and like they see the baby in your hand. I'm like, oh my God, you've added so much weight. Like, look at your stomach. What are you even eating? And if the person is older than you and is supposed to know, maybe this person has like 5 children and maybe we're the same size. You understand? How are you supposed to, at that point you're vulnerable, you're already like 1,000,001 things are running in your head. How do you step in, like, especially if the person is like your mother's age, or I don't even know how to explain this question, but you know the question I'm talking about. Please.
Well, this is a big problem.
Yeah.
Because you find out that a lot of people, like I said earlier, don't know boundaries, don't even have boundaries for themselves, for them to even respect your own boundaries.
Right.
So I feel it's important to, let me use the word, respectfully educate people.
Right.
Because the same situation happened to my wife. Where somebody said, I've not seen you for a long time. You have added weight. Why are you looking so fat? And my wife came back and told me, and I said, next time, if the person does that again or any other person, tell the person you're married and you're happy. Because the Bible says that you are fat and flourishing. Well, I believe that the way we address people will also let them know that these boundaries are there. Because somebody coming to say you are fat, that might be very insensitive. But you can tell the person in a way that will not be offensive.
You've added a little weight and you look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've passed your message. All right, so I would like us to take a break. But before we take the break, when we come back, I'd like us to talk about marriage.
All right.
So, the issue of another lady, or, people calling your husband or wife at odd hours. I'd like us to talk about a little bit about that. So let's take a break. And when we come back, Reverend Chima is going to tell us more about that.
I thought you were looking at him just now.
But I changed.
We'll come back.
A very warm welcome to everyone watching. We show you life-changing stories, those you have helped through your generous giving.
I say thank you to CBN.
You provided free surgeries for the helpless, clean water wells for many communities, empowered youth, women, and widows. For more heartwarming and life-transforming stories you made happen, watch episodes of You Were There on Flame TV.
So, welcome back to the show. It's been a very healthy conversation, talking about setting boundaries. We've learned so much so far from our guests and from all of us, just having a good time gisting about this. So, you asked the question before we went in, talking about setting boundaries in marriage. You know, there are people in this life that think that even though your wife, we need to set boundaries around this. Even though you now marry this girl, I've known him before you met him.
I mean, we have...
Those are the people we are here to talk to. People that
my best friend.
We're BFF. Bestie, that's the new one, bestie. So I think that we need to answer that question. So I'm going to bounce it off and then throw in thoughts. How do we now deliberately, there's a new word I'm learning, friendly but firm. How do we establish such boundaries, especially for people who actually may have stakes in your life, family members, old friends that you've been through stuff together? How do we deliberately add those boundaries? I think you gave us the first clue to say, talk about these things in the most honorable way. Say, okay, last time I spoke to my wife, she wasn't really comfortable about talking about her size. She just gave birth, and then she just the birth process was quite a process. I think that talking about her weight was not very sensitive. Not to insult you, but not any hurt, but just to I just thought to let you know so it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
You know, firm, friendly, but it's necessary to have. I have a very beautiful gist on this boundary matter, but I will let everybody draw in first.
Okay, I would like to hear that gist, but you know that, I subscribe for the friendly, family, but nice, but you know that there are some people that you will be nice, you will try to tell them severally, but they will not just get
violent.
it. No, I'm not, but well,
There are
I'm
people
being
who are difficult,
real.
though.
There are some
Very
people that are difficult. I'm saying that because I've had several encounters. I insinuate it, I friendly tell you, and at a certain point I'm like, see, I don't like this. And
One
you
time.
know, most times, yes, I don't
time.
like it.
That's the
I
way to
don't
go.
like it. And I don't like you calling my husband by 11 o'clock saying that you are doing some work. I don't like it.
I have a question though.
What? Okay.
Why are you... No, I'm not talking about you.
Okay.
But why is the other person fighting for the other person?
Why?
Do you understand? Why are you fighting for your husband's boundaries? That's the question.
No, that's what most times we say.
It's not me.
My passion is burning. Now, you know the thing, it's not just your husband. Let's talk about families now.
Right.
His boundary somehow is my boundary.
Yeah.
Because you not watching your gate, you might be affecting me. And me not watching my gate, I might be affecting you.
But I think the point Drew is making is that if there is an identified
issue,
breach,
that's
the word, right?
Yeah,
breach.
Mm-hmm.
If there is an identified breach, the one who is creating the breach should
start it out. Because you would seem like a needy,
insecure,
person.
That's
when
how you come across.
I have to call someone to say, stay away from my husband. I'm supposed to have the conversation
but I also
with my
feel,
husband.
That's not the case.
I also feel that it should be discussed. If it's husband and wife, some people are free.
Yeah.
Call me anytime. It doesn't shake me, it doesn't move me.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
You that is the person that is the boundary person. Don't cross here, don't go here, don't do this. Should have that conversation and say, this is making me uncomfortable. And I don't feel it's okay. And you know, Bara, that a lot of people don't, based on their family and orientation, they lived with a lot of people.
Yeah, true.
And it's difficult for them to just, I'm married to this person and it's just us. So somebody can just call them and say, I just left Owerri, I'm coming now. Be coming now. I'm around. and your wife might not like that.
Yeah, I would.
So I feel it's good that the couple should have that conversation.
Exactly.
You might not like this, but I like this.
So let's have the conversation.
Let's have this conversation and balance.
Okay, so let me ask a question too now. For everybody, not necessarily
That's a very strong perspective.
Yeah.
Yes. So now let's talk about, sorry, I like to play the devil's advocate, go round. Let's talk about my parents, let's talk about in-laws. Now your mom comes around and she's like, the same thing you talked about being too fat, and she's very vocal, talking about the way you
My mom?
Yes.
Telling me?
No, telling your spouse something in particular. Okay. So how do you, and maybe for some reason your spouse doesn't get it. It's just because that's the way she will talk to him and it's okay. But knowing that you people are different and the way I take things might be not be the way. So how do you handle that? Because now probably you are telling your spouse that, see, the way your mom talks to me, I'm not comfortable with it. And somehow your wife doesn't really get the picture. I know that we are supposed to be in sync always, and then you and your wife, you all agree, like I said, I'm playing the devil's advocate. What in situations where your wife doesn't see anything wrong with it, and yet whatever they are dishing out is affecting you? That you feel like your boundaries are not, they are crossing your boundaries. And then the person that should speak for you in the sense of
context,
doesn't have a problem, doesn't see it as a problem. So how do you handle that?
For me, I think that it starts from knowing who your spouse is. And then one of the major attributes of people who want to get into marriage is increased tolerance. Your tolerance level, if it was 4 before marriage, should jump to like 14 after marriage, because
training for that one.
because you're not marrying a person, you're marrying a family.
Yeah.
For example, my family, we're very close, very knitted, very close. And so when my family is around, there is a draw to spend more time with them than I do my wife. Initially,
I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you short, but I think we need to take a break. And once we come back, we're going to do like a sharp 1 minute, 1 minute, and then we're done. We'll play the game, and that's about it. Is that? But you have to finish up in 1 minute.
So you'll be giving him 1.5?
No.
Okay, that's cheating, but it's all good.
No. Like,
there's something.
We'll take this one.
Okay.
We'll take a break and come back. Thank you.
I was born under complicated circumstances.
Back at home, I felt rejected and sad.
I felt I wasn't good enough.
He was very, very possessive.
I got pregnant. I had a baby. Then I dropped out of school.
I'm sick and tired of this life I'm leaving. Somebody tell me why am I still breathing?
I went back to the Word of God.
Right now, I know who I have on the inside of me, and I know who I am.
Strive for excellence and give it your absolute best every time you get a chance.
We will pray some more. We will dance, we will sing, we will love you more. On and on, we proclaim you, Lord. We scream from the bottom of our hearts. I don't want this to end. I don't want this to end.
Welcome back to the Viral Virtue Show. So before we went on break, we're talking about boundaries and how it affects our home, our marriages, and all. And Chima was talking about how he's close to his family and he'll complete it. But we're giving each person 1 minute, and then we'll go to our games, wrapping up. So.
Okay, so I'll just go by. So my family, the tendency for me to spend more time with my family when they were around than usual.
Yeah.
So we had to talk about it. And so we talked about it. Say this is the reality of things. So how can I create the balance? Yeah. And then what she did that made my life and everybody's life easy was get into the mix. So I didn't have to choose between anybody else. So you see, all of these things are very critical. The dynamics of it. Like the lady said in the video, the boundaries are not to keep people out. It's just to create, control your space. Your space, yeah. So boundaries are critical. Please, healthy boundaries are critical. Sometimes the boundaries we set are not even healthy for us. We isolate ourselves and throw ourselves into trouble. So habits are good. We are Africans. We must add that into the mix. We are communal in nature. But however, we should be able to say, okay, Auntie, welcome, or like the example you gave, Auntie, welcome. Auntie, but you should have called us now so that we can better prepare for you. What if we're not around?
Passed your message.
Yeah, passed your message.
Well, so I'll say, concluding it, I am big on respecting people's space. I like us to respect our spaces. You know what I learn people know what I like and what I would not like. Because you like it doesn't necessarily mean I'll like it. So let's learn to respect our space. And then I'm also big on setting boundaries around our children. What comes in and what comes out. Yeah. So since you will not give me time to explain,
no time.
I will just end it there.
We'll do part 2.
So healthy boundaries are very important for individuals, for families, for every business, everything. Because people actually feel like as your friend, they own some part of your business without paying. So I believe that we need to create those boundaries, define those boundaries, and most times enforce those boundaries.
Great.
Create, define, and enforce.
Create, define, and enforce. So we're going to create, define, and enforce in our game. So this game for this episode is juggling balls. We're going to start with.
I'm surprised that Chima is not moderating this one.
He cannot moderate. He cannot do it. That's not what it's like.
My political enemies came up.
So we're going to start with our guest. Let's see how long you can juggle this balls.
2, right?
Is it 2? Wait, no.
Ah.
But you're not going to miss this one because I will see how you perform. So, okay, what we're going to do actually is both of you will juggle at the same time and see who take it. Then the winner will juggle with him.
I like the way you're doing this.
Okay, so you know
wait,
that
hold it first.
I'm trying
hold
to.
it. So I'm giving you.
But we are a team, so if we win together, we lose together, right?
However,
I like that part. I'm sorry, I will drag it down.
In 3, 2, 1, let's juggle. You will not do fast.
Is that juggle?
I don't know.
Come on.
I'm a bad.
You are bad.
No, it's a good way.
So I won.
Yes, you did. So pass the ball now. Let this all the mouths that Chima is making. Let's see.
Just to show you that I don't need 2 hands.
This is pride. We talked about pride.
So in 3, 2, 1, let's go.
He has won.
I wanted you to win so that
in fact, you won. We won.
This one is bro code now. Thank you for watching the Viral Virtue Show. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Viral Virtue Show. Come back next time. From all of us here, say bye.
Bye-bye.